Mr. Chairman, what would you like or we would like for you to respond to President Paul Biya's call for dialogue?
It's a welcome call, coming a little late, but thank God that it's here, and we want to appreciate what he's done, appreciate him for that. The Anglophone crisis have affected all of Cameroon and affected our neighbors. And all these crises are not just common to Cameroon, they are crises that are all over the world. If other people have been able to resolve theirs, I think Cameroon should be able to resolve their own too. This said, I do hope that Mr. Biya is serious in what he's saying, and the Prime Minister should be very serious and not for us to go into another talk show like the tripartite. I will want the Prime Minister to now take his responsibilities and see what he can do. And before I delve into that, I want to thank all other Cameroonians who've made their own inputs into what I'm talking now, and thank members of the SDF who've made statements and also gone to the Prime Minister. And that if I'm saying anything now, it's just to add my own little bit to all those people who've in good faith and in goodwill said something about the present problems. I want us to look at some of the teething problems that have been worrying us in the country. The issue of the electoral process in our country. We have to look at this seriously and come up with something that would befit Cameroon. I think we should look at the census, because if we are talking of either federation or the so-called decentralization, you cannot effectively do this without knowing the census of the people you are leading. And I would also love that the constitution should be revisited for us to have a constitution that would befit us. This crisis started from the Anglophone, all Anglophone conferences. And this was because we went to the tripartite, and when they talked about the constitution, Mr. Biya set up a commission to come up with a constitution for Cameroon. Whereas the Anglophones were advocating for a federal constitution, Mr. Joseph Owona, with his own team, came up with a central constitution, which today is not, most Cameroonians, including me, are not very comfortable with. So I want us to give dialogue a chance. I'm appealing to the young men and women who are fighting the bushes to give dialogue a chance. And let us, Cameroonians, for once, look deep down our hearts for the love we used to have for that country, for the love we used to have for one another. Make sure that we come out with meaningful discussions, resolutions that will enable us to move forward. I want to wish the Prime Minister's team good luck and God's blessings. I do hope that they will come up with something that will make that country regain its place amongst the international communities. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, is there something you would like to add? Is there something you would like to talk to the parties who are fighting, the army, the separatist movement?
I said it before, that the army, the people in the army are my children. The separatists in the bushes fighting are my children. And when you have your children fighting, others fighting because it's their place to fight to protect the country, others fighting because they've been marginalized and cheated in the country, you, the father, you are in between, you don't know what to do. So that's why I've only appealed to them, that I'm appealing. Whether it's secession, whether it's federation, whether it's decentralization, let us give dialogue a chance. And that's my appeal and my call.
Now, Mr. Chairman, the President mentioned in his speech that he's inviting everyone in the diaspora as well to be involved in this dialogue. Most of the separatist leaders are overseas or they are abroad. And how does this work with dialogue? Most of them, they may see this as a trap for them to get caught and be put or be jailed or be imprisoned. What are your thoughts about this whole process?
Well, I hope that Mr. Biya will keep to his words to grant them amnesty to come in. Some of them have insulted me and ordered my compound to be burnt and ordered my compound in the village to be burnt, ordered the one in town to be burnt. I was abducted in a sub in Kumbo, and they came again, grabbed me from my house, dragged me down like a pig going to be sold in Bali Market. But all this in the interest of the Cameroonian people who've looked onto me as a leader and voted for me in different elections. I want to say that we should forgive and forget and let Mr. Biya come out with a genuine call for these people to come so that they come and we resolve these things. Some are fighting fights that they don't know. And I know that an average Cameroonian back home is very hurt with instructions being given abroad. Arrest this man, abduct him, kill. And they've made Cameroon look like a country of cannibals, which hurts me and makes me get very frightened. I've never known that they could cut a person's head, parade with, open a person's heart, both men and women, and tear their stomachs. I mean, they've made Cameroon look really dirty and messy. And I think that we should have a chance. If countries like Rwanda, Burundi, the Lake region went through this and they reconciled themselves and they're working together, I think that we too can.
Some of the separatists, they want a middleman to be involved in this dialogue. And they have mentioned the United Nations, they have mentioned the African Union, they have also mentioned the United States, as well as other countries. Now, with this form of dialogue coming up, what are your thoughts about, who should mediate a conversation like this?
With that said, I think that Cameroonians should sit down on their own and honestly look into their hearts and accept what they think that is wrong. Have the Anglophones a problem? We have a problem. Can we generally look into this problem by ourselves to see how we can resolve our problems? All this that we've been fighting, killing ourselves, the United Nations has been seeing us. The African Union has been seeing us. I've been to the United Nations several times. And the separatists that are fighting out here, I've been there several times. I've been to the White House several times. I've been to the Bundestag. I've been to Champs-Élysées in France. I've been to the Commonwealth. I've been to the House of Commons, the House of Lords, and articulated the Cameroonian problem very well. I think the Cameroonian problem, any child outside can give you the history of Cameroon, because this has been said over and over. Can we first start by sitting down by ourselves to agree? As I warned before, we should not bring in people that will come talk for the gallery. And some of the people are there who do not understand what the Anglophone problem is. And when we started, for instance, when the SDF started, calling for a federal system of government, people said SDF wanted to secede. The very people who yesterday said SDF wanted to secede are running today that, Fru Ndi, come, we now agree on the federal system. Why should they be agreeing now? Is it because they've seen the boys coming fighting that they want to secede? Secondly, when we talk of marginalization and taking the Anglophone for granted, it's the SDF that formed the party. We formed the SDF and called for Mr. Biya to grant amnesty to the people that wanted to kill him in the coup. And he did that. And I want to see him replay that amnesty this time, because Anglophones are also Cameroonians. And when some of these people came from outside, they say, Fru Ndi, you support me. Instead of them supporting Fru Ndi, what started? So you see where the Anglophone problems have come from. That we have been taken for granted, we've been marginalized, we've been dehumanized, and I think the time has come. We have this wonderful opportunity. I want to thank Cardinal Tumi and the other people who've been struggling to come up with things to solve these problems, that this is the time for us to come together, forgive and forget, embrace ourselves, and come up with a solution for our country. God bless Cameroon. Thank you.